Now, how often do you wash your bed linens? If you really want to get rid of the icky germs, dust mites, and particles that can cause allergies and asthma, microbiologists recommend throwing your sheets and pillowcases into the laundry every 2 weeks. And then you should replace your pillows every year, the mattress every 5 to 10 years, and bedding every 2 years or so. Okay, let's turn this into retirement talk. When it comes to keeping, your plan fresh and things like that, how often should we give our income plan that same sort of treatment?
When I'm looking at how often should I refresh my income plan, I would say one of the best advices I could give to people is, those people that are close to or in retirement time really, should probably look at it a once a year checkup, unless there's a major life change. And in fact, I'll say that's probably a good idea for anybody at any age. I'll use myself as an example. I'm 47. When I look at my income plan, the biggest thing that catches me off guards is a lot of these subscriptions that I'm paying for that I don't necessarily need, and I forget about them. Like, we subscribe to this one service that allows us to do graphic designs. Well, that person's no longer even working at the company. And so when you go through and you look at some of these things, even, recently we took a look at moving our cable to streaming, which cut down expenses. So even at a younger age, once a year looking at an income plan can be important. To me, it gets even more important when you're, within 5 years of retirement time and or you're in retirement. And the reason being is if you're not going to get up and go to work every day, you need to make sure that your money is working as hard as it possibly can. Now, when I'm talking about an income plan, I'm not talking about a financial plan. What I'm talking about is a written retirement income plan. So those of you that are listening, you might have some type of financial plan. Maybe there's some type of Monte Carlo analysis that ran that showed you what the probability of success is. Maybe you had a plan that talked to you about how to optimize your investments from a portfolio perspective. And those are all great things. Those are tools that we also use here. What I'm talking about is a written retirement income plan. So this is a third item that's very important that you have. So within the written retirement income plan, what you want to do is, if you're not drawing Social Security, part of that plan is going to look at a Social Security optimization strategy. If you're blessed enough in the fact that you or your spouse has a pension as an option, making sure that you run a pension maximization strategy. I had a call with a gentleman last week. He's not married. He has 2 children, and he has 2 pensions from previous employers. So he has the option where he could take out a pension for his life only. When he passes away, no money would then transfer on to his 2 children. He could take out a pension for his life only for a period certain. Or he could take a lump sum, ultimately name his children as beneficiaries. And each of those choices, they come with pros and cons on what, is able to do. But by looking at a written retirement income plan, we're able to figure out, one, can he take a lump sum and maybe a little bit less monthly withdrawal, but then have the opportunity that any money he doesn't spend, leave it to his children, which is what one of his desires is that's important to him. That's a pension maximization strategy. And again, by developing that written retirement income plan allows us to look at things like his Social Security. If he's going to continue to work part-time, does he need to work 1, 2, or 3 years? So we can help answer the question of when to retire. We'll look at the difference of 1 or 2 years and what the strength of that makes. As previous segments we've talked about, reviewing this on an annual basis right now is a perfect example of why it's a good idea to do it, because fixed rates are up significantly in the last year. So it might be a year or 2 ago that maybe you bought a CD, maybe you got a large balance in your checking and savings accounts for emergencies. But if you're not proactively going out and getting these higher fixed rates, you could be missing out on thousands of dollars a year of extra income by not upgrading to the higher fixed rates that are out there today. Shifting money from at-risk to non-market risk strategies within 5 years of retirement. So if you've had, the opportunity to be blessed with the market in the last couple of years, you could reposition some of that money. You could move it into non-risk market strategies, put it into things that provide more predictable income and help you out there. Downsizing. So if you want to get, an increase in your income plan, it could be possible to look at selling your house. I just recently spoke with a couple, and what they did is they sold their big home. They locked in a significant profit because of where housing prices are. They were able to move into a condo, so they have now a lot less maintenance and upkeep. They're renting the condo, so they don't have to pay these higher rates of buying a new condo. And they get the advantage of using this big lump sum of money to generate more income to fund some of their income needs. A debt elimination, that's another great strategy. The way to get more income is through debt elimination. Sometimes it makes sense, say, to pay off a small balance mortgage. So if somebody had a $250,000 house, maybe they only had $40,000 or $50,000 left on the mortgage, it may make sense to maybe pay off a big chunk of that before the end of this year and pay off the remaining balance next year and get that paid off so they don't have that payment going into retirement time. That can be a significant improvement of their income plan. Strategies to reduce cost, you can look at strategies when you're talking about pre-65. So if you're going to retire before the age 65 and you're going to get health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, what you want to realize is that's an income, not an asset test. So the reason you want to meet with a professional like myself and Scott and talk about your health insurance plan before retirement is because of the fact that there can be some ways that you can reposition your money now that can significantly reduce what your pre-65 healthcare expenses and monthly costs are. But again, it's one of those areas that you don't want to wait until you're retired. You want to do that now as part of your overall income plan. And even post 65, it doesn't catch a lot of people off guard, but if your income gets too high post 65, it can have a negative impact on what your Medicare premium is. So again, many people, including myself, I'd recommend at least once a year checkup, unless there's a major life change. So maybe married, divorced, buying or selling a house, having a new family member, sending somebody to college. Those type of reasons would be why, again, to review your income needs and review your income plan. And if you want to look for a way to say, hey, is there a way to increase and bump the bottom line? That's what an independent portfolio analysis can do, and that's what our firm can do by taking a look at running those numbers. And to me, with winter right around the corner, here in Northwest Ohio, I think one of the most amazing things is when you go put a winter coat on that you haven't had for a year and you put your hand in your pocket and you find a $20 bill that you left in there. That's like the best $20 ever. So my job is to help you if you sit down with us and try to find $20 bills in pockets by going through examples of like what we talked about here and helping you increase your income plan.
And that's the benefit of that independent portfolio analysis. That is the benefit of having someone here in the area to help you with these annual checkups, check-ins, make sure that everything is still going according to plan. If there are changes that need to be made, letting you know when that happens, whether that is something that happens in your life, whether that is something that happens, on the side of the government. They're very slick about, making these changes in the cover of darkness, but how it affects you overall, making sure you've got someone who you can reach out to and contact if your current financial professional hasn't talked to you in a good while and maybe has been kind of hard to come by, and in light of the recent volatility and things like that. Why not reach out to the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, like I said, right here in the Toledo area, serving people just mountains and mountains of experience, and they can help you out. Just give a call, 419-794-3030, or go to the website, arhq.com.